Mabuhay! Welcome to MapuWander. This is Kyla and we are very much delighted to accompany you as we travel through various historical sites and places in the province of Bataan. Kindly fasten your seatbelts to ensure a safe travel.
This is Casey and I am one of your tour guides. We are 10 minutes away from the province of Bataan. But before all of the clicking of the cameras, did you know that the first inhabitants in Bataan are the Aita Magbukons?
Yes, Casey, they are actually the first Negrito ancestors of present-day Filipinos. Hi, I'm David and I am your tour guide for today. By the end of the 16th century, they migrated towards the mountain areas of the province when the Tagalog communities from southern Luzon migrated.
Hello, good day. I'm Fiona, one of your tour guides for today.
Fiona, you have a chica?
I don't have a chica, I have a trivia. In 1647, there were Dutch naval forces that landed in the country in an attempt to seize the islands from Spain. The Dutch massacred the people of Mabuhay in Bataan.
We're still 5 minutes away from Bataan, meaning more short time. I'm Jimmy, one of your tour guides. In January 11, 1757, the province was established by Governor-General Pedro Manuel Arandia out of territories belonging to Pampanga and the corregimiento of Mariveles, which at the time included Maragondon, Cavite across the Manila Bay.
Bataan may be prominent now as a tourist site, but in 1941, prior to the Japanese invasion, it was a military reservation for the purpose of defending the fortress island of Corregidor. The U.S. Army stored nearly 1 million gallons of gasoline along with various munitions. At the southern tip of the peninsula, the U.S. Navy had established a small base at the port of Mariveles.
In December of 1941, shortly after the Japanese army invaded the country, the combined U.S. and Filipino forces were being gradually overrun, and General Douglas MacArthur moved his troops to the Bataan Peninsula in an attempt to hold out until a relief force could be sent from the U.S.
The Japanese forces then started a siege on January 7, 1942 and launched an all-out assault on April 3rd, a few months after the Battle of Points, Battle of the Pockets, the Attack Down Drill No. 2, and a half-dozen other brutal battles.
It was the last time a regular cavalry unit of the U.S. Army, the Philippine Scouts 26th Cavalry, was used as a horse-mounted fighting unit. On the morning of January 16, 1942, Lieutenant Edwin Ramsey led the last cavalry charge into the town of Moron, routing the advancing Japanese infantry. Tragically, as the troops on Bataan were continually reduced in rations, the horses were eventually slaughtered to feed the starving soldiers.
The majority of the American and Filipino forces surrendered on April 9 and were forced to march more than 100 kilometers from Bataan to Capas Tarlac, which became known as the Bataan Death.
And we are now entering the province of Bataan. You can take unlimited pictures and videos, but we advise to enjoy the heritage, scenery, and history of the province. Bataan is well known for the historical Bataan Death March that happened on April 9, 1942 from Mariveles, Bataan, where you can find the 0-kilometer Death March monument, to San Fernando, Pampanga. About 75,000 Filipino and American soldiers marched about 65 miles that lasted for 5 to 10 days. The soldiers were starved and beaten up and resulted in thousands of deaths.
To ensure that no traveler will be lost, Here is your personal map and guides for the province national patrimony. One of the most famous places in the province of Bataan is the Las Casas Filipinas de Acusar, located in Bagac Bay. It is the home to about 40 original Spanish-Filipino colonial structures that ranges from mansions to wooden stilt houses.
Another museum to visit is the Bataan World War II Museum. It includes artifacts and dioramas of World War II, including the infamous Death March and Surrender Monument. The Boat People Museum is another must-visit place. It teaches about the 65 Vietnamese women and men, including 11 children, who crashed onto the shores of Morong, Bataan in 1981 while fleeing their homes and seeking refuge from the Vietnam War.
If you are adventurous, you can explore the hidden coves of Five Fingers. Go trekking at the first stop, the Cochinos Point. Cliff jumping at Talaga Point. Stairway-like formations of Magaman de la Rock at Hornos Point. A quick lunch or snack at Nightlet Point. And finally, a 40-foot cliff jump at Longos Kawayan Point, home to the Nagbintana Art Rock Formation.
Next stop, the Flaming Sword. Located in Pilar, Bataan, this giant sword symbolizes the bravery of the Filipino and American troops that fought for our country. On the other side, found in the capital city of Balanga, is the Fall of Bataan marker, a reminder of the tragic time in history and the friendship between the US and the Philippines.
Now, here you can see Filipino-Japanese Friendship Tower, also known as the Bagac Friendship Bell Tower. It was built on April 8, 1975 by a Japanese Buddhist organization, as a tribute that symbolizes the reconciliation of the two countries. It is located 200 meters away from where the Death March started.
One of the most awaited sites in the province, the Corregidor Island. Fiona, you have a chica?
I don't have a chica, I have a trivia. Corregidor came from the Spanish word corregir, which means to correct. It served its purpose to have incoming ships' documents be checked and corrected.
It is located at the entrance of Manila Bay, south of Bataan. Considered as a natural fortress, the island was said to have become a U.S. military station after the Spanish-American War.
After that long journey, you can take a stroll in the famous Lambanan ng Kagitingan, also known as the Shrine of Valor, found on the top of Mount Samat. It is a heritage for the remembrance of the bravery of the Filipino and American forces that fought in the Bataan Peninsula from January to April 1942.
What a long day we had! To end this trip, why don't we look into the indigenous practices in Bataan, shall we? Marriage-related cultural practices are common within the Aita communities, one of which is magtanti, practice of setting the obligation, and it could be in cash or in kind like cabins of milled rice and fattened pigs that the family of the bride can use. In simpler terms, the dowry.
A Filipino tradition, pamamanhikan, is known as Mama Habi in Bataan. And lastly, Puhango refers to the obligation that the groom who ran away with his bride, also known as pagtatanan in Tagalog, must settle before they are forgiven and married.
Thank you for choosing MapuWander. We hope that you enjoyed this exciting and informative trip, and we wish to see you soon for our next local travel adventure.